Hi, my name is Robert Barkerding. I'm a lifelong Covington resident. I've been coming to First Baptist since probably around the turn of the millennium. I was baptized in the Bogafilaya River. I didn't know that I wasn't a Christian for a long time. I was not raised in the Baptist church, and when I realized that I was potentially not a Christian, I decided that I needed to find a new church. There was just something missing, things that I wanted and I didn't have, and they were not being fulfilled. If you've been there, you know, right? It's just a set of circumstances, one thing after another, and the next thing you know, you're aware of things that you had no awareness of before. It was late 1999, and I was on a ski trip actually with a bunch of my college buddies. I'm not a very good skier, so I was off by myself going down this desolate slope. I was the only person on the slope, and I felt a call. I felt the Lord speak to me and just tell me that there's more. It was time for me to start pursuing it. Started coming to First Baptist early 2000, and my walk with the Lord really kind of began. I was baptized as an infant. So when I came to Christ, I didn't think I needed to be baptized again. And that went on for a long time. What year are we in? 23? That went on for probably 18, 19 years. And then the more I studied the Word and the more I learned about God, it became evident to me that baptism is something that I need to do. It's a decision that I need to make. Nobody is going to be standing next to me when my time to stand in front of the Lord comes. I have to account for my decisions. I'm not saying baptism is dependent upon salvation, but it's one of the last things Jesus told us to do. And I think he meant it. Jason Hunt pulled me to lunch one day. Hunt said, I just heard that you had never been baptized. And I said, that's true. And he was like, tell me about that. And I kind of, just told him. I said, I was baptized as an infant. I was, and he just brought a couple things to light and didn't pressure me to do it. But when I left that lunch, I said, I think I probably need to go ahead and get baptized. I wanted to be baptized in the river. I grew up in that river. That river is where I spent a lot of my days not knowing I was lost. In addition to the symbolism of the baptism, it was also very symbolic to me in my personal life, in that I'm no longer that guy that grew up on that river. I'm a different person now, and the baptism is very representative of that. So it was an overcast day. Pastor Glenn Robinson was the one who put me under, and it was great. It was amazing. There's a great picture of me coming up out of the water with Glenn, and we're both smiling ear to ear. There was no blinding light, there was no, I had been a Christian for a long time, and I had been walking with the Lord for a long time. It was more the realization that I was following what Jesus commanded us to do. It was more the realization of, it's the last thing he said before he left the earth. Go, therefore, and make disciples, baptizing them. So it was just kind of another step in my progression of Christianity, I think. The being buried, right, and the likeness, the exchange life that you have with Christ, being crucified with Christ, and how we will be raised with Christ. That's what baptism is, right? I mean, that's why we do it. It's a symbolic thing to Jesus did it, right? So we're joining him, and we're joining his church, and it's what we're supposed to do. It's what he expects of us to do. It's kind of the forgotten part of the Great Commission, I think, is, we talk a lot about making disciples, but we're supposed to be baptized too, on our own volition. There's probably a lot of people in our church that are on the fence with this, right? Should I get baptized? Should I not be baptized? I've already been baptized, which in our community is probably a lot of people. That was me. One of the things that held me back along the way there, over those 17, 18, 19 years that I didn't get baptized, was my family. And that's why I said earlier that nobody's going to be standing with me. But it was bad enough that I'm no longer going to the church that I used to go to. But now I'm going to get baptized again. So, there was a lot of, I don't want to upset my parents and I don't want to upset my family. But at the end of the day, it's what Jesus told us to do. And if we are going to participate in the Great Commission, we can't effectively do that unless we ourselves are baptized.